Hi everyone, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing all the materials I use to prepare for PRES 3 exam. So a couple of disclaimers before we start. If you don't know who I am, my name is Margo and I live in Ireland. I am originally from Russia and I have a Russian diploma of medicine, and I'm trying to convert it to Irish standards so I can work in Ireland as a doctor. But to do that I have to do 3 exams, a language exam and 2 specialized medicine exam. So far I have passed my language exam and my theory medicine exam, and all I have left to do is to pass the practical exam PRES 3. And if you clicked on this video, you probably know that PRES 3 is an exam based on your practical knowledge, assessing your basic knowledge in medicine skills and also your basic medicine practical skills. So unfortunately I failed my first attempt to pass this exam. I took it I took it last October 2022, and I did not pass. But as I promised in many videos, if you watched any of my previous videos, I said that no matter what the result will be of my exam, I will definitely be sharing all the resources I used, and I think it will be still beneficial to people no matter my result. So in today's video, all I'm going to be doing, I'm just gonna walk you through exactly what I did, for how long, and what kind of resources I used to prepare. For everything I'm gonna be talking about today, I'm gonna try to leave the links down below if it's a book or a course. Let's just get started because we have a lot to get through. So I was studying for about 4 months in total before my exam, but I would say that first 2 months I was studying around a couple of hours a day, not every day, maybe 3-4 days a week, and then last 2 months I was studying more intensively. The problem was that I also had almost a full-time job. It was a part-time, but it was 30 to 35 hours, so you can see the hours were almost as a full-time job. So that was taking up a large chunk of my time last autumn, so I couldn't devote 100% of my attention to the exam, and that I think was one of the reasons why I unfortunately failed PRES 3 exam. So we're gonna talk about what I used and see where I went wrong. So the first thing that I used, I bought this book called The Unofficial Guide to Passing OSCEs, 3rd edition. I believe the author is a British doctor, and the book is basically just a rundown of a different OSCE skills. They're not specialized for PRES 3. Almost everything that I'm going to be naming in this video is not specialized resource to study for PRES 3, but unfortunately, since this exam is very particular, there are not many resources out there that are tailored specifically for this exam. So I was just using basically whatever I could get my hands on. So this is the book that I read 2 times, and I tried to play out the scenarios from the book. I was playing them out with myself, and that was probably part of why I failed the exam, because I did not unfortunately have a partner to study with. Okay, so this book 2 times, read, played, I did some notes, I watched the video over every single skill on YouTube, which I'm going to be talking about later on. So this video is basically going to be, first I'm going to talk about the books I used, then I'm going to talk about YouTube channels I watched, and then I'm going to be talking about some additional resources like courses and just some homemade materials that I used for my preparation. I have this list on my phone, so I'm sorry if I'm gonna be reading off my phone, but it was so many things, so at this point I don't even remember all the names of the books that I read. So sorry for that. So next up we have a Handbook of Clinical Medicine by RCSI, which came to almost 1,000 pages. It's not, again, specifically for PRES 3. It's basically just, it's kind of similar to Oxford Medicine handbooks. It's kind of just a compilation of a short description of various diseases, what to do, the approach, like how to diagnose, and just this kind of thing. I read it at the very beginning of my preparation. Next up we have also a book called 150 ECG Cases by John Hampton. So it's basically you get presented with an ECG and you have to make up your mind about the diagnosis, and then you basically read the answer. I feel like if I could do it all over again, I would skip this book because it's just too much information. The cases were too difficult. You will never encounter, I don't know, 99% of the cases presented in this book. So I think like if you just want to know more about ECGs and just to see different ones, I guess it's beneficial. But for me personally, I felt like this was one of the books I would definitely skip next time. Next book, I felt like it was absolutely amazing and it helped me a lot to get just a grip on interpretational skills. It's called Data Interpretation for Medical Students by Paul Hamilton, and it was 700 pages, so it was quite a beast, but I felt like it went literally through every single lab test you can imagine, and it was explaining in detail how to approach it and how to interpret it. And interpretation skills is a big part of PRES 3 exam, and unfortunately this was the part that I failed by the majority of points. If you watched my video when I announced the results, I think I told you by how many points I failed this part. And so this book was really beneficial. I think I'm gonna reread it in more detail while I'm preparing for my second attempt, because it was really in a very simple language explaining all the important parts of interpreting lab tests. Next up, I have read lots and lots of different scenarios that can come up on PLAB 2, and it took me quite a long time to get through them. It was like a 2,000 page file that someone sent to me. I don't remember, one of my people that also preparing for this type of exams sent me, and oh my god, that was really beneficial. I think on my real exam I got like 2 scenarios that were almost identical to the ones in the book, and reading all of that, yes, I only read it once because it was, well, 2,000 pages, but I felt like it really prepared me for very different types of prompts that I will be given. Like honestly, it had almost every single imaginable disease that a patient can come to you with. And then the next one, I actually loved it so much that I printed it out. This is a book called Essential Examination by Alasdair K.B. Ruthven, and this is a book often referred as the Blue Book by Irish med students, and they use it to prepare for their final exam. I found it extremely helpful, and I found it really well structured. It has basically all different clinical examinations you can perform on a patient in very much detail. And what I loved about this book is that not only like it says it tells you what to do, but it also has a little column saying like potential findings and extra information. So basically it's telling you what to do with the patient, and it explains to you why you should be doing that and what can you find. So it's really good for people like me that are not very confident in the clinical skills, because, well, I have never worked in a real hospital, and sometimes I'm doing something on a patient, I'm asking them to do something, but I'm not quite sure why. Like, I'm not quite sure why am I performing a certain exam and what this little piece of information can tell me about the condition that patient has. And this book does a really good job in explaining, like really clearly explaining why doctors do what they do. Okay, next up we have RCSI Clinical Examinations in Medicine. It's a little book. It's basically just this kind of the same as the previous one. It also gives you an overview of different clinical exams you can do, but it doesn't go into too many details about why we're doing certain things. So I found it like a very extra thing that you can read if you want to just keep reviewing the same information but don't want to review from the same source. So you can just, you know, just brush up on some of the more difficult exams using this book. So we are actually done with the books part, and oh my god, when I'm looking at it, I realized that it's probably over 5,000 pages or something that I've read, and this is impressive, and I still failed. So this is also very impressive. But yeah, don't repeat my mistakes. Don't think that just because you read a lot, you will be feeling more prepared for the actual practical exam, because I had to show and not read. So yeah. Okay, so next up we have 3 YouTube channels that I watched, and only one of them I will recommend 100% to everyone on this earth, and God bless people that are posting those videos for free on the internet. So the first channel is called QuizMed. I'm gonna leave the link down below to everything I'm obviously describing. So this is a channel with different practical skills and also different communication scenarios with patients. And I think what this channel is really doing well is the communicational part. My God, they're actors, they're people portraying different, like, for example, there was a video that a guy was portraying someone that just heard that he has a colon cancer, and a woman, a doctor, she was playing a doctor, and she was kind of breaking bad news to him. The guy was so, like, he was so believable, I cried. They portrayed everything like it's in real life. Like, it doesn't go more real than that. If you're crying over fictional people having fictional cancer, I think someone is doing a great job. They should be on Grey's Anatomy, 100%. Next up, we have Zero to Finals. This is a channel, I watched all the videos from this channel. It's not directly connected to the exam. This is basically a short videos that teach you about different diseases across all specialties. Mostly, of course, internal medicine, but overall, just different things. And I found it really helpful for people that maybe have a big gap in between finishing university and starting working, and now they're preparing for exams, and maybe you just forgot some of the things, you know, like things just slip away, and you just want to brush up on general medical knowledge. And I think this channel does really well. And what is really good, you know, sometimes the channels that tell you about diseases, they can be like excruciatingly long videos in there. And well, it's not ideal, because if you have to cram for an exam, you don't have time to watch a 20-minute video over each disease. On Zero to Finals, the majority of their videos are under 10 minutes. So I found it extremely helpful, well structured. The voice is really pleasant. I listened to it almost like a podcast. I didn't really see the videos itself. I think if you're interested in general medicine, if you want to brush up on your knowledge, if you feel like you have extra time to do something extra for your exams, definitely watch those videos. I do not regret that I spent time watching those videos. And then the holy grail of practical skills on YouTube is Geeky Medics. Okay, I don't know who these people are, but I just want to bow to them, because I feel like as high as I got to this exam, from absolute zero in practical skills, it's all like I owe it all to them. This channel, they're in detail, amazing, beautifully shot, like amazingly. I'm sorry, I don't have enough adjectives to describe how much Geeky Medics just saved my life, how much confidence they gave me before my exam. Honestly, if it weren't for this YouTube channel, I probably would just cancel my date and didn't even try. They were absolutely incredible videos. I watched every single video from Geeky Medics channel 10 times. Not kidding you, like incredible work. I believe that those people in the videos, they are doctors from UK. I'm not sure though, but whoever you are, Geeky Medics, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I recommend, if you want to learn how to do certain procedures or certain clinical skills, this is the channel for you. Geeky Medics, they have over 100 videos, and I think they also have a paid subscription on their website to see even more videos. Maybe I'll even purchase that for my next exam. Yeah, love it, recommend 100%. If I could just narrow down all my resources to just top 3, I would say Geeky Medics would definitely be in the mix. For my other resources, I have used a lot of flashcards. A lot. This is just a little tiny part of the flashcards that I use. I did not buy a special paper or anything. I just made them out of A4 papers. That's it. I think it was very helpful, and you know, flashcards, you cannot go wrong with flashcards for any exam. So I definitely recommend. If you have some bits and pieces of information that just cannot stick, I think I would say use flashcard. Always a good idea to use a flashcard. And the last thing that I did to prepare for my exam is, of course, I had to take some sort of a course. And first I wanted to take an offline course, but unfortunately I couldn't make it to the dates. They did the course like 2 months before the exam, and I wanted the course to be like right before the exam, so it would be all fresh in my mind. So I decided to go for an online course by Dr. Plub Academy, and the man who is conducting the course is called Dr. Muhammad. The course was 4 days, 2 days for interpretational skills and 2 days for clinical skills, and I'm gonna go way more in depth about that course in my separate video. I feel like I just don't want to, this video is already gonna be long enough. I'm not gonna go over too much. I will leave a link down below all about this course, and I'm not gonna say anything further. Just it was 4 days, it was 2 days interpretational skills, it was 2 days clinical, and the price was, at the moment that I was taking them, 150 pounds per course. So altogether it was 300 pounds. And I believe this academy also does a private mock-up test before the exam, and I believe the price in October 2022 was 50 pounds for a mock-up test. And that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it, because I know that many people were waiting for me to make this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll leave a comment or a like or anything. I'll be happy to answer all of your questions in the comments. Thank you and bye!